Hey guys, welcome back to THIKI. That's how I know it. Today we're talking about art. I know it's something I've talked about a little bit in the previous video, but today I want to focus mainly on why art, why we create art, why I create art, or why I think I create art, and why I think you should create art as well. I've been watching a lot of videos about artists, how they create art, their methods of creating art, why they create art, and a common denominator as to why people both start creating art and continue doing it in many different levels is the innate drive to create it. I know for me personally, I don't think I could live on this earth happily if I can't create art, whether it be drawing or making movies, making films, writing stories, whether it's on paper or telling stories. Art is a part of who I am, and I wouldn't feel like I'm alive if I couldn't do it. And that's a common theme in all the videos or all the different forms of content that I'm consuming, that it's something these people can't live without. At least the people who take it to the farthest reaches, who do it professionally, or who just love to do it, they all can't live without it. And I want to go to the root of why I believe this is a theme with humanity. I believe that this is what we are put on earth to do, to create art, to appreciate life's intricacies, life's details, and express them through a medium that moves us. Because honestly, we have to work because we need to make money to survive. That's just a fact of life. But I believe that if we didn't have to work, if we didn't have to make money to buy food, make money to have clothes, to provide shelter, that we would strive to create art, to create pure forms of art. That is what we're put on this earth for. Reading this manga right now called Bakuman, and it's about these two middle school kids who decide they want to be manga artists, and they go through all these different trials and tribulations to make sure that their dreams come true. There's other things to the story, but that's the basic premise, is these kids who at the start, especially one of them at the start, isn't that passionate about creating manga. He can draw, he's a really good artist, but his friend shows him that this is something you're good at, and if we tag team on this project together, we can go big. And the story just spirals in a good way on how these kids are passionate about art. It's not that the kid didn't want to be a manga artist at all. It's more he lost that passion over time as reality set in. And that's the main theme or concept that I think we see in life. People who create art, whether artists, music artists, or painters, photographers, etc. The one thing that stops people from doing it professionally is it gonna make me money? Is it gonna provide what I need to live, what I need to feed my family, what I need to feed myself? And that is one of the limits that society has put on the creation of art. Where was I going with this? Yes. We live to express, whether it's through communication, whether it's through movement, dance, etc. We live to communicate something, some message, some feeling, some core emotion from ourselves to the other world, the world. Whether it's to feel no longer alone, whether it's just for fun, that's what we as humans do. We've created language so we can communicate with each other, our feelings, our motivations, what we have to do. And I think art is a universal form of that. It's something that's ingrained in each and every one of us. If you try to tell me that, oh, I'm not good at art, I can't do anything art, I personally just say you're lying. Because just because you can't draw like the best artists out there doesn't mean there isn't some form of art that you can bring to the world, some expression of who you are, of what you believe. A big one that I'm seeing these days, especially people around my age in university and stuff, is fashion. Fashion has become a way for people to express who they are without telling you directly who they are. A lot of my friends are really into streetwear, and so I guess I would say so am I. I'm trying to diversify my closet or my fashion style, but streetwear is a big one, especially for Black culture, because it is who we are. It's as a Black culture, it's who we are, it's what we do, it's what we've had in the past, and it's our way of expressing that without feeling like you're doing too much or being too loud. Or for some people, it is their way of being loud and not obnoxious, but being unapologetically themselves, because nobody else is gonna actively enforce what you can and can't wear unless they're your parents and you're living under their roof. Well, I can't say anything on that. Each parent has their different parenting styles, but it's the way for people to scream out into the world without using their voice. So that's back again. That's why I'm saying I don't believe people who say they're not good at any form of art. You just haven't found the art style or medium or technique or whatever that is perfect for you. I know some people who can draw amazing pieces of art, but to write a poem, they cannot do it. You know what I'm saying? But people tend to not correlate those two, because art, painting, is seen as more valuable, or tends to be more appreciated by the masses than art as poetry, or poetry as art. So all of this jumbles of thoughts and points is all to say, find your niche, find the thing you are good at, and use it to express you. Art is a way to put yourself into the world. Art is life. And there's a big saying, art imitates life or life imitates art. And I do believe it's a chicken or the egg situation where what started it all. I guess life was here first, but some can argue that life is art. The creation of life is art, because we're all so unique. No two paintings are the same way no two humans are the same. There are these correlations. And it's sad. I don't know if sad is the right word, but it's sad to see people be a shell of who they actually are because they have no, or they believe they have no way of expressing themselves or putting their voice into the world. And if that's you, find something to create. People tend to say journaling. I think journaling is art because you're writing. It's just not an art that seems to be, it's not digestible for others. It's just for you. You don't have to share your journals with anyone. But it's writing, and writing is a form of art. Poetic prose, simple prose. Some arts are just technically better than others, but as long as you feel happy after doing it, that's what matters. And going back to my earlier point, society, or at least the capitalistic society we live in right now, has this huge focus on money, creating something that's gonna have value that somebody else wants to buy. And while art does have that aspect to it, it's not as common for people to have or to have access to those streams, because the art industry is very difficult to profit off of, especially when you feel like your art isn't that good. It's still this hustle culture. You have to practice, you have to take time, dedication, art. And some people just want to draw for fun and maybe make money off of it, you know what I'm saying? So it's something difficult for most people to hop into. But we are so focused on having to create money and everything having monetary value that we almost lose the idea or the basis that art doesn't have to be profitable. Art just has to be you. And that's it. Whatever you create is good because you have created it. But like I said, some things are technically, by like technique and stuff like that, better than others. But because it's you, and if it helps you process your emotions, your feelings, and if it helps you process who you are, I think that's the value art has. There are some caveats to this. Creating stuff for you and for your expression is all good and well as long as you're not putting anyone else down. I know this conversation is going all over the place, but I just want to, like I said, I'm just speaking, just talking, see whatever pops up, and I'm putting it out there. But the art you create is amazing as long as you don't use it as a way to put others down, a way to make yourself feel better than others. Because I find that those are the people who get a lot of hate, get a lot of talking behind their backs, or however you want to phrase that, but because they create art that they believe is amazing. And that's fine. If you believe your art is the best art in the world, that's okay. You created it. It expresses you. You understand why you've created it. But if you're doing that and putting other people's art down, or trying to lift yourself up above them by doing so, that's where a line gets drawn. But yeah, I digress. Art is for everyone. Create what you feel like you want to create, and don't let the world stop you from doing that. Don't let your parents' criticisms of art as an industry stop you from creating something that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel content. For me personally, I have been off and on with art for a while, actually, and different forms, from acting to musical theater to writing. All I know is a constant that has been in my life since I was a kid was some form of art. And the only things that took me away from that was how I perceived myself in the world. I stopped in high school doing musical theater and stuff because it wasn't seen as cool. It wasn't seen as things popular kids would do, or to make friends or whatever. And that was something I really do regret at this point in my life, because I gave up something I love, something that gave me joy, to fit in. And those are years I can't get back. Those are progress. That's progress I can't get back. But at the end of the day, I remember that as long as I know now, I can move on and I can get better. I can work it out. But that's all to say. Just be yourself. That's why I create art. I create art so I can express the thoughts in my head. I create art to immerse other people into the worlds that I come up with, whether it's writing or with film, and in hopes of someone getting a peek into the emotions that I felt when writing these things, or I feel when creating. A lot of the time, sad people write sad stories. Sad people write happy stories. Some people write for or create stories for what they would want to see in the world, or some people create stories for what they are already seeing in the world. It's all to convey something, to teach a lesson. And that's why I create art. I want people to feel the things both that I feel, what I've seen other people feel, and learn something from it. Sometimes they don't have to learn anything, like that's okay. But I want them to set foot in that world and disappear from reality for a bit. Even if the film or novel I'm writing is rooted in reality, I want them for a split second to be able to forget about the noise, about everything, about society, about everything that causes them pain, and to be in my world, in this world I've created. Whether they like it or not, I'm happy as long as somebody has read my work and has been like, I saw something new, something different. I'm seeing a different perspective than mine. I'm understanding something I may not have got before. Or I'm confused about this world. I want to know more about it. I want to understand what this means to me. That's why I create art. With drawing, for the most part with drawing, I just want to be able to put the things in my head to like on paper and be able to bring to life the things that are stuck in my head in a visual medium compared to writing or filmmaking. Or filmmaking, you can do that, but some of the more fantastical stuff you can't. It's more expensive to do via film. Maybe one day, we'll see. But I draw to bring that out, to bring that to life. The things I have up here, put it on paper so people can see what it is I see up here. Because art is a very digestible medium, especially when you're not doing abstract or whatever. What you put on the paper is what people see. What you put on the paper is what people can get from whatever it is. Yeah, I'm rambling at this point, but you get what I mean. It's a way for me to express my thoughts, my emotions, and hopefully impact other people. Similar to why I do this. I'm talking to a camera in my room on what day is it? Thursday morning, and I'm hoping that it just reaches at least one person. At least one person can take something away from it. And that's why I'm happy with the turnout of my last video. It might not have been, 10,000 viewers. Oh my gosh, whoa, big overnight success. But I did get a few people DM me and were like, I needed this, thank you. I just needed this motivation, or to understand that somebody else is going through what I'm going through, and it helps them create. It helps them think of ideas. It helps them get back into the flow. Because I know what it feels like to lose your passion. I know what it feels like to withdraw from it. And I hope this helps somebody get back and start creating again. I know this video is a long ramble. We're touching like 20 minutes now. But this is what it's going to be like. I don't care if 1,000 people see these videos. I don't care if only 10 people see these videos. I just hope that at least one of the people who watches this gets something out of it and takes away. And thank you guys for the support on the last video. I really appreciate it. And in the comments or DM me, whatever, let me know what you guys want to see in these videos, what you guys want to hear. Because at the end of the day, I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this for whoever's watching as well. It's in the last video, but it's not with the new framing and the new setup. You can't see it, but I have a bunch of books over here. If you want to see book reviews, if you want to see me talk about my favorite books, which those would definitely be something I want to do in the future, but let me know what you guys want. Movies, TV shows, whatever. This is just a space for me to talk and hopefully start conversations with people. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This was That's How I Know It, or THIKI. I'm hoping that sticks. THIKI. It rolls off the tongue a little bit. THIKI. But yeah, that's THIKI, episode 2. And yeah, that's how I know it.